Well, joining us to talk about the latest development in the race to get as many people vaccinated as possible is our good friend, Dr. Timothy Quinn of Quinn Family Healthcare in Ridgeland. Dr. Quinn, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
First of all, explain to us how this expanded emergency use authorization for 12 to 15-year-olds is important in this race to achieve herd immunity.
I mean, this is phenomenal. We're talking about 17 million more people now eligible for the vaccine. The group from 12 to 15, that represents about 5% of the population in the United States. And right now, with this new group, with this additional 5%, we're now at 85% eligibility. Now, remember, in order to reach herd immunity, we need anywhere from 75 to 85, even up to 90% of the population vaccinated so that the transmission of the virus can go down and we can get out of this pandemic and somewhat closer to normalcy. But the deal is, now that these children age 12 to 15 are now eligible, now we have even more of a fighting chance and we can get out of this pandemic even sooner.
Dr. Quinn, now we have heard that many parents aren't on board with giving their children the vaccine. We've been seeing some of those polls. Have any of your patients asked about vaccine safety when it comes to their children? Are they considering giving it to their children?
Well, what I do is I remind my patients that everything is followed by the science. The science is the evidence that we need. And this was a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled study, which is the standard, where basically the Pfizer researchers, they were unaware who was receiving the actual vaccine medication and who received the placebo. This is the gold standard, the best. 2,260 children aged 12 to 15 participated in this study that ended last March. As you said initially, there was 100% efficacy discovered in this clinical trial, and the safety profile was phenomenal. It was really good. The only side effects was the normal tenderness at the vaccination site for some kids, a little fever and fatigue that resolved very quickly, and the antibodies, they went up even higher than the older age group. So it's very effective and safe. And like I said, I remind my parents about the science, which drives all the decisions.
Yeah, I had the side effect. I'd rather have the side effect than the disease. Dr. Quinn, Mississippi ranks dead last when it comes to the percentage of people vaccinated. Do you think the hesitancy is the fact that they don't trust the vaccine, or is it access to the vaccine?
Well, you know, initially it was access. Initially it's both, but access was a lot more early on. But Dr. Dobbs and the team at the Mississippi State Department of Health, they've worked very hard with clinics like mine, just small independent clinics, getting that vaccine out to these clinics, especially in these rural areas like up in the Delta or toward the coast where they might not have those large vaccination sites. They got those vaccines out. So access is not as much of a problem as it was early on, but what we have to do is continue to provide the education and the information that's vital so that we can turn some of this hesitancy away so that we can get more people informed, motivated, and vaccinated, and we can get out of this pandemic, which we so very much need.
Yeah.